I guess wrapping up last week, John and I made picks. So we'll go. You want to just run through the slate and give like takes from each game?
Yeah.
Like okay, like chronologically. So the first game of the weekend um, was Tennessee at Kansas City. John, you and I were both really confident that Kansas City was going to win. Um,
Yes.
I don't think we were confident in Kansas City.
No.
I think it was
But
more a lack of
confident.
confidence in Tennessee.
Yes, I agree.
And we kind of, I mean, obviously Tennessee won the game, but it was such a bad game that it could have gone either way. It was really what I expected it to be.
Right.
I didn't I obviously expected Kansas City to come out, but like Andy Reid, man, he's the only coach to ever blow two 17-point leads in the playoffs.
Right. Yeah. Was the other one because I was thinking about this? Was it like at Indy or something
Well,
with the Chiefs? I feel like I
was
remember
it?
a game when the Chiefs were up like 24-0 on Indy.
That would make sense.
Or and then Andrew Luck came back because Andrew Luck in the
Yeah.
first half
Okay. Yep.
was like
Yep.
throwing a bunch of
Mhm.
picks
Yeah, I
and
do
was just
remember that
like
game.
terrible and not good, and then had a great second half.
Yeah, I was thinking like the Peyton Colt, and I was like,
No.
yeah, Andy Reid just got to the Chiefs. But yes, I do remember that game. That was fun. That was really good.
Yeah. So that was the other Andy Reid. Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, the problem was just that Travis Kelce got
I
hurt,
know.
and the Chiefs were kind of just too like lackadaisical with the lead. I guess like you see a lot of times, like teams are just kind of like, well, we're beating them, so whatever, we'll just do this thing, and it just backfires. They just waited too long to try and keep anything going, and then you don't have time to get something going. I didn't have a lot to say about that game. Tennessee fucking sucks, so Pats are gonna kill them.
So like you said, the once Kelsey went down, like Casey was rolling, and then that kind of just threw a wrench into everything because it's like it's like what happens when the Pats whenever Gronk goes down.
Right.
Where
well, and I brought
really
up to you, like,
yeah.
Look at, sorry not to cut you up, but, like, I brought up that, like, Dolphins game, and I was at that game, and they just couldn't do anything on offense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what, I mean, whenever you lose an all-pro talent, like, most teams don't recover. Like, the Patriots are very special in that, like, that next man up type of thing.
Yes. Right.
I mean, typically, when you look around the league, if look at what happened to the Steelers when Le'Veon Bell got hurt. What was it, 2 years ago, going into the playoffs, and then they had that first round game at Cincy, and it was just like their offense was so putrid. Like they still pulled the game out, but because it's Cincy, but like I think it was like 22-17, and they got a defensive touchdown, and it was like really, really like they shouldn't have won that. Oh, that was when Burfict had that like ridiculous unsportsmanlike conduct penalty to extend the Steelers' drive to go in to win.
Yeah, the Bengals like lost the game on penalties.
Yeah, exactly. But like that, the offense just looked like a shell of itself, right? And that's kind of what happened to Kansas City. I think the big red flag to me is that they had a 17-point lead at one point in this game, and they rushed the ball 11 times. Right? I mean, you look at the running stats. Derrick Henry, 23 carries for 156 yards, 6.8 yards a carry. Kareem Hunt, 11 carries for 42 yards, 3.8 and a touchdown. Tyreek Hill had a jet sweep. Alex Smith had a couple yards, but they lined up and handed the ball to Kareem Hunt 11 times, and I think one of those was a backward screen actually. So like, if you have the lead and you're not going to run the football, like the Falcons learned last year in the Super Bowl. If you have the lead, the clock is your biggest friend,
Yep.
So, no wonder why the Titans scored 19 unanswered points in the second half. It shocked the Chiefs. It's because you ran the ball 11 times. And I think a lot of those were in the first half, too. So it's like, it's Andy Reid and just mismanagement of time and just everything in the course of a football game.
Does Andy Reid lose his job?
No way. Not after, especially with the injuries they had. I mean, they lost Barry in the first game of the season, and that was huge.
Yeah,
That
the
really
EH.
sucked the life out of the defense. Like they were still an
Yeah,
average defensive team, but like
that's
historically,
fair.
with when they have Barry in there, it's a lot like you remember how lost the Patriots were when they didn't have Hightower
Right,
at the beginning of the year. It's because the defense is really built around having that that center fielder and
right,
like
that
having
leader, yeah.
yeah, it was like what was it? Remember Bob Sanders on Indy? You
Yes,
remember how
yes, of
Bob Sanders
course.
was always hurt? He
Yeah,
was just all like that's who Eric Berry reminds me of. How he's just that like game changing, like great playmaking safety who can defend the run and play really well against the pass, but like he
right.
just can't stay in the lineup and like the team's I mean just like Gronk on offense, it's the same thing. Like the
Yep,
team's built around him and then like they're injured all the time. So how can you build around a guy that's only there 11 games a season? Right?
yeah, exactly,
So
exactly. Yeah.